Location, location, location is house hunting for a love nest in Bristol. That's tomorrow at 8:30. Now for though, recline your seat for some luxury metal.
Lexus say this, the all-new LS430 is the best luxury car in the world, but I've heard the Mercedes S-Class is the best. Well, tonight we play Executive Superstars.
Tonight on Driven, it's big cars for big cheeses. You've got 50 big ones to spend, so which one will give you the most backseat luxury and front seat fun? Jason becomes Jack the Lad in the fastest hatchback under 13 grand.
And for the best prices on new and used cars, join me later.
But first, slip into the back seat and enjoy the ride.
Downsizing, super minis, fuel economy, you're having a laugh. This country's got more millionaires than I've had at dinners, and they want it all, the looks, the ride and the luxury. So tonight on Driven, will it be the all-new Lexus LS430 or the original Flash Airy, the Jaguar Sovereign? Or perhaps our luxury car of the year, the Mercedes S-Class? Let's meet the contenders.
A decade ago, Toyota invented its own luxury marque, Lexus. The original LS400 took refinements to new levels, and ever since, big names like Mercedes have been keeping a close eye on them. The third generation LS430 is so smooth, it feels like it's driving you, even though it does look a bit like an old Merc.
An old Merc? So what's wrong with that? This is the best luxury car in the world. It's Lexus's benchmark, it's our benchmark on Driven. In fact, last year we voted the S500 Luxury Car of the Year. It's as good in the front as it is in the back, but you know, if you want quality, you're going to have to pay for it.
Why not impress the shareholders by saving 10 grand and buying a Jag Sovereign? There's a new XJ coming out later this year, but I still like the old one. I love the classic lines and I love the fantastic V8 engine. It's the most powerful car here, which is perfect for when the old bills smell a spot of insider dealing and you need to make a quick getaway. Know what I mean? Me and Jace are busy executives, so when we're being whisked to our meetings, we want to be driven smoothly so we can do the crossword.
That's right, Mike. We'll have no bangs, no crashes in here. We deserve a first-class journey. So, to find out how good our cars are, we're going to do a ride quality test.
Well, that's no good, mate, because Mallory's driving.
Yeah, see what you mean.
We've asked our friends at engineering consultants Ricardo to help us gauge our car's ride quality. They're going to measure how much each car bounces vertically and pitches end to end over this undulating test track. First over the bumps, the LS430.
Come on, Mallory, we're going to be late for our business meeting.
Yeah, don't worry about that, sir. I'll get you there on time. We're going to do 60 miles an hour on a bumpy surface to see how good the ride quality is of the Lexus.
Right, 5 letters. Company presenter most definitely is not this.
Rich.
Quiet. It's
Quiet.
very quiet in
Exactly.
here.
Right, how about this one? I've got obligatory persona required for racing driver.
I know that one.
Yeah.
Smooth.
Smooth, and it is smooth. this
Isn't
one.
it?
Very smooth, very refined. It's nice, very nice.
It's beautifully comfortable, smooth and quiet.
Next, the S-Class.
Now we're in the Mercedes, 60 miles an hour, about to hit the bumps again. See what difference it makes. Here we go. Oh, it's a bit noisier and a bit of a firmer ride.
I've just managed to write knighthood, obviously thinking about my future.
It is a firmer ride. It's much more sporty, but it's got more control, much better damping control off the bumps. It rides much flatter. Okay, it's a bit stiffer, but I think that's better.
Yeah, I like
It is
it.
better. It feels more in contact with the road surface. In fact, I think I can sum this car up. It's what every racing driver should be in defeat.
Upset.
No, does it start with a G
It
by any
does start
chance?
with a G,
Gracious.
and that's exactly what this car is.
This car is so gracious. It's so nice and smooth on the road, but firmer over the bumps. And what a nice ride.
And lastly, the Jag.
The Jaguar Sovereign is the last one to go through the ride quality test. You fancy being chauffeured around in this, boys?
In a nutshell, no. It's very, very uncomfortable. The seats are too short, there's no leg support for the back of your thighs, and also you kind of got to slouch a bit, because if you sit up, your head's in the roof.
And I can't do my crossword. Every time I try to write, the pen skips across the page, and it's definitely the most cramped of the three. I have much more space in the other two.
Oh, it's so bouncy.
The harshest, right?
It feels as if the suspension's topping out and bottoming out, as if there's not enough travel there. It's just thumpy and not very good.
Dreadfully bouncy.
Which is like old technology, which I think may sum this car up. It is. A fine wine it is, a racing driver it isn't.
Red.
Mature.
No crossword clues in the Jaguar. Its soft suspension gave it the engineer's highest bounce and end-to-end pitch rate. It comes third. Nothing cryptic about the new Lexus. A much more refined ride than the old model. A strong second. But the stiffer suspension and sportier ride of the Mercedes makes it ours and Ricardo's prize jumbo crossword.
Think of theme parks and you think of Disney World or Alton Towers. A day out for the kids that's quite good fun for mum and dad too. But what have roller coaster rides got to do with cars, you might ask?
Well, the motoring industry has come up with a new way to spend some of its huge marketing budget, the automotive adventure world. And the idea is very simple. Catch 'em young, too young even to drive.
The world's largest car manufacturer, General Motors, have opened their own test track at Disney World in Florida. All good fun for us, but there is a serious side. General Motors get to plug their products and their brand not only to adults but also to the kids. Toyota opened their high-tech theme park, the Mega Web, 2 years ago in Tokyo. It's the ultimate car showroom, designed to entertain the whole family with roller coaster rides and virtual reality test drive facilities. And now Europe's largest car manufacturer, Volkswagen, have joined in with their £283 million Autostadt or Car Town, which essentially is a car pickup point where VW buyers come to collect their new metal. And guess what? Not a roller coaster in sight. Each of the group's brands, from Skoda to Bentley, has its own pavilion focusing on its past, present and future. The highlight, however, is the vehicle delivery system. Cars come straight from the production line along underground tunnels and are stored in two 48-metre high towers, waiting to be collected by the 450 owners who come each day. Volkswagen's extraordinary car town is more design-orientated than the Toyota and General Motors offerings, but the aim is the same, to build brand awareness and brand loyalty for the whole family. But with the massive cost involved, they must be confident that they're going to see some sort of return in the future.
Brand loyalty is the base of our business, and it's much more expensive to get new customers from other brands than to deal with loyal customers. Everything that helps attracting young people, interested people, and then lead them into the world of Volkswagen Group and all the products. This is the purpose of the game.
And you can understand why car manufacturers are so keen to get the drivers of the future hooked, as the game of brand loyalty is set to become a very serious one. If current trends continue in the future, there could be as few as 6 manufacturers in the market. And when that happens, competition will be intense. They'll have to make sure that it's their brand that we're aware of. VW, Toyota and General Motors believe that by showing our kids a good time now, they'll be brand loyal, brand aware and after a brand new car in the future.
I think children become brand aware younger and younger all the time. You can see in the choices that they make in toy shops, for instance, and on holidays like going to Disney or whatever, that they will start probably from 2 and 3 having a very clear idea of exactly what they want.
Right, let's do a little experiment. We know why parents are down here today. They're here to pick up their brand new cars from Autostadt. But what about their children? What brand would they be loyal to? Well, I've got 5 cards. Ford, Mitsubishi, Alfa Romeo, BMW and last, Volkswagen. Let's see what one they choose. And straight away, he's gone for Volkswagen. Show it to the camera. Volkswagen! More young punters. Again. Well, it seems like the experiment is working, for now. But is it really going to convince kids to buy into marques like VW and Bentley in 10 years' time when they're eventually old enough to drive, just on a visit to Autostadt?
I think there's certainly a correlation between going on a ride like a GM ride and then wanting the car that's associated with it. Whether, in fact, that lasts until the child's actually an adult and they actually want to go and buy a particular car as a result of it, or whether it's just a subliminal influence, remains to be seen, I think.
It's going to be a few years before Toyota, GM and VW find out if their money has been well spent. Big boys like Daimler, Chrysler and Ford are yet to follow suit, but you can guarantee one thing. They'll be keeping a close eye.
Now the bargain price finder and the Y-Reg has arrived. How about an incredible £3,260 off the list price of that handy mini MPV, the Citroën Zara Picasso 1.8 SX? Deals on Volkswagen Golfs are notoriously hard to come by, but we've found a tidy £1,431 cut on a Y-Reg Golf 1.6 SE 5-door automatic. For where to get these discounts, check out our website at 4car.co.uk or use the bargain price finder as a guide when negotiating your own deals.
After the break, which of our luxury trio is the getaway car of choice? And Jason goes bananas. Well, yellow anyway.
To win one What Car Award is a tribute to our commitment to design. To win two is a compliment to our innovative approach. But to win 3 What Car Awards proves that Vauxhall knows what it takes to make great cars.
Only 3, eh? I know exactly how you feel.
Geoffrey Hayes. Hello. With sidekicks Zippy, George and Bungle, entertained and educated millions for over 20 years.
I hope you're nodding as well. The best children's TV award is Geoffrey from Rainbow.
Ahead of his time, he was the original single parent, whose fashion sense had people reaching for the contrast button.
Everyone can see it smiling.
So, Geoffrey, if you'd known more about investments, could you have made better use of your money?
Yep.
Virgin Money. Know your stuff.
Grandad's good at golf, isn't he?
Well, he's got time to practice. He doesn't have to go to work every day like Daddy.
Why?
He's retired.
Standard Life pensions perform consistently well, so you can spend your retirement doing exactly what you want to do.
Just think, James, when you're Grandad's age, you can play golf every day.
He still won't be able to hit the thing.
Standard Life, for pensions, investments, healthcare and banking.
Please pay attention to your screen. Play the National Lottery game this week, and if you hear this sound as your numbers are entered, you'll win one of 200 dream holidays worth £5,000. It could be to here, or here, or virtually anywhere you want to go in the world. Win a dream holiday with the National Lottery game.
China is reopening for business. Is British industry ready for a new high-tech hothouse? Work-related stress. Is there a cure? The dot-com crash. Why are some e-businesses bouncing back? Why are luxury brands coming down to street level? Inner city regeneration. Is Cardiff showing the way? Nobody covers business like the Financial Times.
Yellow. Yeah, he was a big boy. He was also from the sci-fi movie. You have to wear the stilettos.
Ooh, bad craving. Come on, girls, let's patch him. Now you can beat cigarettes one at a time, and you're twice as likely to succeed with Nicorette Patch.
Don't just sit there. You could save up to 20% on motor insurance. Buy online at directline.com or pick up the phone now.
Pick me up and pour me out.
Make better use of your money. Choose an ISA from one of the hundreds on offer at virginmoney.com.
You make your own rules, your own laws, and you break them. The speed carries you through the barriers, through the fear. All you feel is the moment, the high.
Vanishing point.
Past the point of no return.
Welcome back, and in the Driven 100 the Merc's out in front, but this next test might put the cat amongst the pigeons.
You've seen it in the movies, you've never seen it in real life, but believe it or not, professional chauffeurs are trained to carry out an evasive manoeuvre called a J-turn or a reverse spin to get their VIPs out of trouble. So we're going to see how dynamic our 3 cars are, and Jason is going to be our chauffeur.
Jason's been trained in this evasive manoeuvre by specialists Drive and Survive. His mission, to get me and Mike away from our pursuers by pulling off a 180-degree turn as quickly and safely as possible. First getaway car, the Lexus.
Now just pretend for a minute that me and Penny are high-paid TV presenters and we've got the taxman after us for a few extra quid.
Here comes the taxman.
We need to make an evasive manoeuvre called a J-turn, and Jason's our getaway driver. What we're looking for here is the stability of the car. We're using traction control off. And here comes our taxman now.
Oh,
there's the taxman. Into reverse, down. Jason's going to get on the steering wheel, whacks it round, in gear, off we go. Fantastic manoeuvre. Now the car.
Such a violent manoeuvre.
It is a violent manoeuvre, and it's a big car. This is a great big Leviathan, and it handles it quite well, doesn't it?
It does. It feels quite stable.
It's brilliant. Now get the traction control back
Adios, taxman.
Now it's the turn of the Mercedes. So we're going to come into our little bit here. We've got ESP off, electronic stability control. We're coming down our lane, and you got it right on time every month.
Here he is.
Here comes the taxman wanting his money. Into reverse. Come on, Jace. He's going to get us. Look, he's done a handbrake turn and everything.
Now this car is so clever that I think we're going to struggle to get it round.
We are going to struggle to get round. Come on, Jace. He's coming after us. Round it goes, back into driving, and away you go, Jason. Top work, son. Not bad going, but
it's not bad. But in the J-turn, the electronic, even though you've turned everything off, it still activates the car. It stops the throttle working. You can't select reverse until the car's come to a complete stop. All this sort of stuff is good news for the car. Not very good for doing J-turns.
Now this is the ultimate gangster getaway car, the car of the 70s, the Jaguar Sovereign. So this car should be able to turn around the quickest. It's got the lowest centre of gravity out of the 3. We'll do traction control off. So if our taxman, wonder where he is these days.
Well, you don't see one for years and then 3 of them come along at once. Would you believe
He ain't
it?
going to get my tax return. Get away from him quick, Jace. Come on.
Oh, I'm holding on
reverse.
tight.
Got an easy gate here to slide down. Oh, beauty!
Brilliantly done.
It's by far the best, isn't it? Easy. 0 to 60 in under 7 seconds, and he's in a different county. Do me return next year, mate.
The Mercedes was too clever by half for this test. Even with its traction control off, its fancy electronics just wouldn't allow a smooth turn. Great for normal driving, but not for a quick escape, an unwieldy third. The Lexus is packed with electronics too, but it did the J-turn surprisingly well, a balanced second place. So, no sophisticated driving aids, a low centre of gravity and great power and handling makes the Jag getaway car number 1. With its hot hatches, Seat has cultivated a reputation as the Spanish lad of the Volkswagen family. Recent price cuts make this Ibiza Cupra 20-valve turbo the most powerful hatchback for under 13 grand. Underneath, it's all reliable German technology. But why are so many Seats yellow?
Funny that. I thought the Spanish flag had a bit of red in it. Oh well, custard yellow it is then.
The Ibiza Cupra, named after Cup Racing, shares the same 1.8-litre turbocharged engine as its stablemates the Audi A3 and the Golf GTI. It's got a whopping 156 brake horsepower, a top speed of 135, and it'll get you from 0 to 60 in under 8 seconds. Way more power than its rivals.
So how does the Cupra handle? Very well. It's pointy, it's directional, it does everything you want a little sports car to do. However, there is a trade-off, and that's the ride is very, very harsh. It feels as if the damping's too stiff. Don't really mind if you're in the driving seat, however, if you're a passenger, it's pretty uncomfy. I like the gear change in this car, which is surprising because it's based on a Volkswagen, and their gearboxes to me aren't so nice to change, but this is good. And the steering, well, it's nicely weighted, it's very reactive, and I have to say, even though it's got a turbo, it's very responsive. There isn't too much lag. It's good, it's nice and smooth. Now, this car comes with traction control, and there's a button on the dashboard where you can turn it on and off. And I must admit, in the dry, you don't need it. In the wet, however, it is useful, it's there. Interior-wise, well, it's not bad at all. The instrument cluster, well, that's pretty good in the daylight. However, at night, there's this red glow that goes over everything, makes it difficult to see. Also, the radio and heater controls are a little bit fiddly, maybe a little bit over-styled. Driving position, it just isn't quite right. I can't get the seat quite low enough, so I just can't quite get comfortable. But it is a good fun car to drive.
The Ibiza Cupra is very practical for a hot hatch. It's a full four-seater and even has ISOFIX child seat mounting points. You get front and side airbags as standard, as well as air conditioning, traction control and anti-lock brakes.
So, should you buy one? Well, it's not discreet. It's not as smart as a Renault Clio Sport, nor as pretty as a Peugeot 206. But for a quick motor under 13 grand that you won't find on everyone's driveway, it's pretty hard to beat.
Our Driven 100 cars are neck and neck, but now it's time for the last test. And who's got the most toys?
Our three cars have got more computer technology and gadgets than NASA had to send a man to the moon. Take the Lexus, for example. It's got anti-lock brakes with EBD, brake assist, ISOFIX child seat mounts, side seat belt for pretentious front and rear traction control, stability control, air purifier with climate, electric windows, power seatbelt anchors, power adjustable steering wheel with memory, satellite navigation, 9-speaker stereo with CD and cassette, headlamp wash, alloy wheels, automatic windscreen wipers, HID headlamps and cup holders. But there's even more. For another £4,000 you can have the premium pack, which is self-levelling, air suspension, a rear cool box fridge, wood and leather steering wheel, aircon front seats, rear aircon controls, rear seat massager and rear stereo controls. Pretty good, eh?
Well, I've got most of that. I have an options list which includes wood and leather steering wheel, different alloys, Bose sound system, sat-nav, 6 CD changer, radar, distance cruise control, keyless entry, built-in telephone, perforated front seat massage, xenon headlamps, but that extras package will cost you over 12 grand. You could buy yourself a Ford Focus for that. What have you got, Mike? Parking sensor?
No, I haven't got that.
What about an air purifier, Mike?
No, I've not got an air purifier.
Door closing system?
No, I haven't got one of those.
Seat massager?
No, I haven't got one of those.
Radar, distance cruise control?
No, but I have a little valeting button. You press it and it goes, and a little light comes on. That's nice. I've got the navigation-y thing, and I've got the steering wheel that you can press with the cruise control. I've got some electric windows, some electric seat.
That's it?
Yeah, so I think it's pretty conclusive, guys, isn't it?
Yes, it is, Mike. No bells and whistles for the Jag. The Mercedes has loads, but you'll have to pay. It gets second. The Lexus doesn't come with a jacuzzi, but hey, you get all the other gadgets and gizmos you could ever wish for. And it's our clear winner.
OK, if your pockets ain't deep enough for our free executive cars, then I know the feeling. But if you want a bit of posh for less dosh, then listen up.
Here's what you could pay from a dealer for a 1998 R-Plate in good condition with average mileage. Around 24 grand buys you the last generation Lexus. Can you spot the difference? And 20 grand will see you driving off in the last and vast Mercedes 420. But our recommendation is the Jaguar XJ8. For 20 grand you could get the first of the current V8 range, stick some private plates on it and it looks like new. Details of all these deals can be found on our website at 4car.co.uk and you can get all the breaking news, reviews and gossip from the Geneva Motor Show.
It's that time again, the Driven 100. We're going to score our three cars and give them the marks we think they deserve. And we're going to start with the Lexus and drivability.
It feels very detached, it doesn't root you to the tarmac like you'd expect it to, and it just sort of wobbles along.
It's a bit too soft and sloppy, isn't it?
But having said that, if you're being chauffeured around in the back of one of these things, it could be exactly what you're after.
That's exactly good, because you can get your crossword done.
So a big fat 20, I think.
Next, the Mercedes.
It drives efficiently, effectively and dynamically, and it's everything that I'd want in a car, so I reckon we'll give it a whopping score.
22 then?
22, absolutely.
The Jag's got great power and handling, but came last in our ride quality test. Still, it scores a powerful 21.
Desirability and the Lexus.
I don't like the look of this car.
I don't.
If you were sitting in the back and you've got all your remote controls in the back seat, it says something about you, your lifestyle. It makes it all very desirable. It's a very desirable package, I think. But perhaps the least desirable here.
And so it scores 18. Onto the Mercedes.
Everything in this car, you touch it, you play with it, it feels like it's going to be there forever.
And it's got the badge, a highly desirable 22. And the Jag.
It just looks lovely. I love this car. I love the front. It's going to be desirable.
20. How about that?
Yes.
Practicality and the Lexus.
It's got loads of gadgets and gizmos, but it's a bit OTT.
But it's still practical.
It's like one of them Japanese hi-fis where there is 7,000 buttons on, and you only need one.
Oh, stop complaining. You got a back massage out of it. 19 points. The Merc hasn't got quite as many gadgets, but it's still just as practical. It gets 19. The Jaguar is big on the outside, but not so big on the inside. A lowly 15.
Finally, cost of ownership. And bear in mind that a 2-litre Ford Mondeo costs just 55 pence per mile. The Lexus costs £53,950 with all the extras and a whopping £1.39 a mile to run.
It's a lot of money. Now that gets a score of 7 for cost of ownership.
That's a lot of
because
money.
It is hideously expensive.
Hoo-ha! Pretty expensive.
Yeah.
But you can afford one. Me and Mike will go back to our Mini Metros.
The Mercedes costs £53,140 and £1.23 a mile, giving it 8 points. The Jag is cheapest by 10 grand at £43,950 and has a cost per mile of £1.16, but because of its low resale value, it only scores 8.
Now it's time to find out who's been promoted to board level. Although the Sovereign's due to be replaced, it's still a fine car and scores a commendable 64. Lexus have pulled out all the stops with the LS430, but it's simply not desirable enough and ties with the Jaguar on 64 points. But the chairman's choice is the Mercedes S-Class. It's seen off all the competition with ease and scores a massive 71 points.
We've had an awful lot of fun testing our 3 luxury cars this week, but there can only be one winner. And it is, as we suspected, the Mercedes S-Class. It's definitely the best car on test here and possibly the best luxury saloon in the world. We'll see you next week.
Next week on Driven, it's Pocket Rockets, pint-sized cars with big attitude. The VW Lupo GTI goes up against a couple of real boy racers, the Citroen Saxo VTS and the Ford Puma.
So whether you're considering buying a car or just mad about motoring, keep up with the latest news, the pictures and road tests on the 4Car website at 4car.co.uk.